The first thing I did to get the Scamp ready for winter was disconnected the battery. I read a lot of things online about making sure it's indoors where it's not going to freeze, and that's definitely a concern here in Nebraska, and to put it on a wooden plank, though I saw some mixed reviews as to whether or not that's actually needed anymore, but since I have a spare 2x6, I figured why not. I'm also going to put it on a trickle charger just to make sure that it holds its charge. I've put some steel wool in there where a mouse can easily enter the Scamp, so that should hopefully deter the mouse from entering the Scamp there. The other thing we're going to do is put some of Grandpa Gus's mouse repellent pouches in a few of the cubbies. I've heard mixed reviews about how this works, but I figure it doesn't hurt. It definitely smells good. So worst case scenario, you've got a Scamp that smells like cinnamon when you're ready to go camping again. And though we don't really ever leave food in the Scamp, I did double check to make sure there's nothing in here that might attract mice. I don't know how much they care about ibuprofen and Pepsid Complete, but why take any chances? All right, we're gonna see if I can put this on by myself, otherwise I'll have to snag my wife later. Been curious to see what this looks like, so here we go. All right, we got her all put up there. It would definitely be easier with two people, but really was not too bad. Mostly once you get it kind of up and over the air conditioner, it holds in place. It's pretty easy to work with at that point. But yeah, really, it's pretty self-explanatory. I checked the instructions just to make sure there wasn't anything that I would miss. It can get pretty windy here in Nebraska in the wintertime, so I didn't want it blowing off. I was wondering if I was going to have to get bungee cords for it, but actually, I'll show you here in a second what it does come with that I was really happy about. So you may have noticed me tossing these underneath while I was putting it up. And they're just straps that go underneath. Another one right over here. That should hold it down. I will keep an eye on it in the wintertime just to make sure. Like I said, it does get pretty windy here, and I know it does get windier in other parts of the country. Another thing to keep in mind when you're putting it up, and it's going to be really hard to see, but where those two black strap holders are there, this is the door, and there are zippers on those two little strings that are hanging out there and there, and that's how you would zip it up and zip it down if you need to get in there. So when you're buying a Scamp, the things they don't tell you about are all the extras you're going to end up buying. A A few that I just ended up with are some jack stands. Torin jack. I like that because you don't have to crank it to get it up. It's a pump action, which I'll show you here in a little bit. And then some rubber exercise floor mats, and I'll explain those in a minute too. So I've made sure that I got my chocks in place on both sides, not just this wheel but the other wheel. I'm just one who likes to be extra careful. I'm about to jack it up, putting the jack under the frame. Don't put it on your axle, and then I'll get it up on the jack stand. So these pads aren't just great for keeping your tires off the ground, but they're great for saving your knees when you're doing work on the Scamp. Alright, so she's all jacked up, got the pads underneath the tires, pretty much ready for winter. I do still want to get tire covers for the winter, and I do want to get a cover for my propane tanks. I think Santa might be bringing those, so I'll be putting those on here pretty soon. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video, hope it was helpful. I'm relatively new to this, so if you saw anything I did wrong, please leave a comment down in the comment section. I do take criticism pretty well. Thank you so much, and happy scamping. This is Milo. He was the one that was supervising my work, making sure that I didn't make any mistakes and that the neighborhood dogs knew that he was out here. Milo, good boy.